Hi folks, today we are going to be reviewing this new Galaxy Heat Press machine. Keep watching. Right, okay then folks, let's just take a look at this. It's a brand new press to the market here in the UK, and one of the big questions I always get asked is, I can't quite afford a Stahl top of the range press. Is there any other heat presses that you'd recommend? Well, up until now, I've not actually recommended anything else other than what I've used, because I've used some rubbish presses and they're obviously not worth recommending. And I've obviously used the Stahl, which I've had no problems with whatsoever. Anyway, Subliblanks is a company here in the UK who contacted me last week and asked me if I would mind reviewing one of their heat presses. Now, normally I don't do reviews, but they claimed that for the money, this is literally near enough sort of half price of the Stahl that I had, and they reckon that this press will compare favourably with the Stahl. So who am I to argue with that? So I thought what I'll do, I'll put it to the test. We'll have a close look at it. There's not many videos out there on this press, so hoping that you see this video now and that you can actually make your mind up and make an informed decision as to what I'm actually going to compare it with. I mean, I'm going to be comparing it with the press I've already got, which is a Stahl Hotronix. So it's quite a big press to compete with, but let's see if this Chinese copied press will make the grade. Now, don't forget that Stahl, although Stahl presses are American and quite a large percentage of them are American made, I think Stahl also get their presses imported from China, obviously at a higher specification than the other low-end presses that you keep seeing come up on the internet auction sites like eBay, for example, for around £200 or whatever, something like that. I've had them presses, as I said to you. I started off with one of them presses and nothing worked. I kept scorching the t-shirts. I kept having transfers that weren't taken fully. It was such an unreliable press to the extent where I actually nearly never went into the t-shirt business because I didn't attribute it to the press. That's after me visiting forums and stuff and trying to get the right information. And as I said, I nearly give up, and then I took a chance and bought a high quality press, and then I'd never looked back since. And you can check this out. If you just go to eBay, you will find loads of presses around the 100 to 300 pounds or 400 pound bracket on eBay. And you'll also find a lot of complete businesses for sale. And these presses tend to generically all look the same. They're quite a boxy design with maybe a single hand or whatever. Now this press, as I say, looking at this looks like a high-end press because it's got, for example, the handle, which is all one mechanism, and actually the frame as well is laser cut. So in other words, it's all one piece, so there's no welds to crack or break. So that's the reason why. And the actual Stahl actually uses that technology as well. So that's a good point there. This one is a 15x15. It's not an auto press where you actually can count the timer down, although it has got a timer that counts down. But the handle, I mean, this one isn't bolted down, and as you can probably see there, that's quite easy to lift up. It's got the tension knob there as well, as you probably know. And it also benefits from a digital touchpad, which is literally one finger touching to set your temperatures and also your times. For the 220 volt version, which this is one of, it's got a 1850 watt heating element. And what we're basically going to be looking for is complete coverage of the heating element with our little laser gun, as we've done on the Stahl before. There'll be a link in the description where you can visit Subliblanks. But first of all, let's just take a closer look around this heat press, and let's just see how it sort of compares to, for example, my Stahl heat press. So again, initially what I'm drawn to is it's got a nice curved edge. There's no sharp edges on it. The actual handle and frame mechanism are of a pretty high standard, as I said to you. They're apparently laser cut and obviously don't have any welds on them whatsoever. The control panel here, as I said, is a simple control panel. It's got a set button with 2 up and down arrows, and you access all that from the digital menu there. You've also got the variable pressure knob, although there's not a pressure gauge on it, but it's pretty simple to tell the pressure anyway. And quite an easy lift handle there, as you can see. So looking at the planton underneath, as I say, this outer edge is just like a cowling, for example, and the actual heat plate is there, which is 15x15. And it's also got the added benefit of having this slot underneath. Now this is one thing which is more beneficial than my Stahl, because sometimes when we're doing t-shirt presses on both sides of the t-shirt and we have to turn the t-shirt over, you can't hang the t-shirt underneath like you can here. Let me just show you my Stahl and show you what I mean. Now if you look at the Stahl underneath there, for example, there is no gap there for me to actually slide the t-shirt in, so you end up gathering it up here, and that's the overall benefit which you can probably see that this one actually benefits from. So I say the Stahl is a pretty similar design, as you can see there. Similar sort of layout there, and also the handle mechanism, although this one is an auto clam. And like the Galaxy, it's got the floating heat plate as well, as you can see there, and that sort of adjusts for different sort of thicknesses of materials pretty easily. So that's looking around it. So walking all the way around it, I'm sure you can see that it's a pretty substantial looking press. The power switch is obviously on the back there, and there's a circuit protection fuse there, switch there, which if it does trip out, you can just reset there. So there you go. Let's put it to the test against one of the top presses in the range, which is the Stahl. So let's turn them both on at the same time. There we go. And one thing to notice with the Galaxy is that it actually starts at 70 degrees C there, and you won't see no variation until the actual plate reaches 70 degrees, and then it will start counting up. So to set this, all you would basically do would be to touch the set button, and it says set temp. We're actually set on 190 degrees. If I wanted to drop or raise that, I would just raise it or drop it, lower it or raise it. Well, I'm going to lower it to 170. Like that, and then touch the set button again. Then it says set the time, 30 seconds. I'm going to lower that to 20 because we're going to be pressing some vinyl in a second. So 20 and press set. And set. And there you go. So once you lose the set sign, we're now counting up the temperature. Once it reaches above 70, it will start counting. Now the Stahl, for example, you have to set that exactly the same way. We're going to drop the temperature to 170 as well, because we're going to be measuring how quick these take up. 170, there we go. And the time we're going to set to 20 seconds is the same, and there we go. So let's just have a quick measure of the temperature so far. The Stahl is measuring 34 at the moment, and there you go, that's measuring 41. The Galaxy is measuring 41, which means it's slightly in front of the Stahl at the moment. So we'll just let these warm up together, and then we'll come back to you. Right, it's been about 3.5 minutes now. Let's just have a quick measure here. In the centre, we've got 75 degrees. And on the Stahl, we've got 60 degrees. So it's the Galaxy's winning at the moment. Let's go to the edge of the Stahl, which is 67, 64, 64, 67. So it's pretty much within 3 degrees across the whole plate. And what we've got here on the Galaxy is 81, 90 on the edges, 92, 81, 86. So this this actual press is heating up quicker and more consistently than my Stahl Hotronix at the moment, which is quite amazing actually. I didn't expect to find that. So as I say, we're just going to let it heat up. So far the claims of this machine that this, although being a Chinese created heat press, it is far beyond at the moment the specifications of the normal Chinese presses that you actually get, which you see cheaply on eBay for a £200 to £300 or even less. So this does look like a quality made item, and my first impressions of it are obviously I'm pretty overwhelmed with that, because when I've had presses here in the past, as I said before, I've had my students bring, actually when I used to run my workshops here, I've actually had my students bring their heat presses in because they couldn't for the life of them get the heat press running properly, or they was having problems with the transfers and things sticking to the t-shirts, and they were scorching the t-shirts because they was playing about with the temperatures. And when I actually done the very same test, what I've just shown you there, although these aren't up to temperature yet, the test showed that the centre of the press was up to 190 degrees, which is what I set it at for one of my students. And the perimeter of the press, as I've shown in one of my other videos, that was down to about 60 degrees. So there was such a vast difference of temperature. And if you've got a press which is doing that, then there's no way at all you're going to be able to successfully transfer vinyls and transfer papers onto a garment. So at the moment, this is looking very promising. Let's have another go. Yep, that's up to 114 in the centre. On the edges there, 114. That's up to 122 on that corner. Back corner, again 114. And back corner again, 114 yet again. Over to the Stahl. Here we go, look, 94 in the centre. All right, 100 on the outside there. 93 there. 99 there, and on the bottom corner, 98. So again, a consistent press is what we expect from a quality press. But yet again, this thing, 6 minutes in to the heating up period, this one is far outperforming the benchmark one, which is our Stahl Hotronix. How about that? This is fantastic. Also, what you will find with this press is on this little LCD display, there at the bottom, it's got a calibrate. If you just sort of put your head in the right angle, you see the LCD words calibrate at the bottom. Now, I looked in the instruction manual, which you do get with this press, which I've actually got here. This is the one that comes with the press, and again, it shows you the settings. It shows you all the basic stuff which I've just run over there. But there's no sign of anything to do with the calibration here. And I actually phoned up Subliblanks, and they told me that what they plan to do is actually calibrate these at the warehouse or at the unit where they will be shipping these out of. So I've basically got mine coming direct, so that's the reason that there may be a differential between what the display heat is and actual the plate temperature. But as I said, we can test that anyway, but they will be matching theirs up anyway. And as you probably saw, I've just measured the temperature on the Stahl Hotronix there, and that one is obviously different than the plate temperature, but once they get up to temperature, we'll know exactly where we stand. So there is a calibration set procedure on how to do that, but they haven't included it in the instructions in case people obviously mess about with it. So, but there is a way of doing it, and again, they have got a help support line and a ticket system where you can actually contact them. And I've actually been contacting them, to be honest with you, through their ticket system, because there was a few questions I needed answered whilst I was doing this, and I basically left my questions on their ticket support system, and sure enough, within a certain amount of hours, or definitely within 12 hours, they'd got back to me answering my questions. So you don't get that normally when you're dealing with an eBay purchase heat press, which is an inferior press, because they're basically bulk imported into the country. Some people give them a name and some people just don't give them any names whatsoever. This has a name, it's got a brand, it's a Galaxy Heat Press. There's other ones in the range as well. As I said to you, there's the Neptune heat press, which is the cheaper version of this. And again, they've given me the top one of their range at the moment, which is the one they've just got hold of. But as I said, there is a 16 by 21 as well, and I think there is an auto clan one coming in the pipeline as well. But for the moment, we're just giving this one a test, as I've said to you. So we'll wait now until they do heat up to the temperature, and then we'll just give it a little test, shall we? It's been about 9 minutes now, I think, in total. So let's just have a look and see what the temperatures are. So the plate temperature is 176. We set this at 170, don't forget. And around the edges, yep, it's around 180, to be honest with you. So it's even hotter than what it says it was. But that could possibly be to do with the calibration. So this one now is really up to temperature. And it's taken sort of 8 to 9 minutes. My Stahl is registering 149 on the temperature. And it's only up to 142. So basically, the Stahl is not ready yet. And there we go, the temperature is up to 178 in the middle. So we're going to start pressing now. And let's get a t-shirt out. Right, well, I've got out a black t-shirt here. Now what I'm going to do initially is just to pre-press it to get all the moisture out of it. And that is just going to be holding down for 5 seconds. And again, the counter's counting down as you can see. I'm not putting full pressure down, and lift up. As you can see, the moisture there coming off of the actual heat plate there. So I haven't got my anti-slip mat on this. This mat does actually move, and you can turn this over, so that's a benefit over the ones that are actually stuck down. But if I was, what I would do is to actually get one of my non-slip protective covers to go over the top. But I'll just show you how this operates via using it as it comes out of the box, so to speak. So again, I'm just going to give a 5-second blast. And what I will find is that this handle, being such a long handle, it's very easy to hold down. So Sharon normally does these, as you probably know. So literally just pressing all the way around just to make sure everything's out, because moisture will stop your transfers from sticking properly. Those of you who have seen my other videos will already know that. So there we go. Okay, there we go. So that's nice. What we'll do, I've just made this temporary logo here to go on the back of the t-shirt, but on the front of the t-shirt, what I've done, I've got some different types of vinyls, and we'll apply these all across the whole shirt just to see how the coverage goes for the whole plate to sort of stick these down. Now again, these are different types of vinyls. I've got glitter vinyls, I've got flock vinyls, I've got glow in the dark vinyl there, and I'll just lay these down, lay the t-shirt down. Now again, I'm not being very specific here when I do this, I'm just literally showing you what we can do. So let's just lay these on there in sort of any random order. Again, I've cut all these out on my Silhouette Cameo cutter, so there's no need for you to worry about having expensive GX24 cutters. You can do all this on the Silhouette Cameo, which is what I've been using to do these. So again, if they're starting to curl up, which they are there, just get your heat tape and just hold them down at the ends to stop them moving. This is a nice little glitter one. I've put this at the end because we want to test the extremities of the heat plate, obviously. So let's just make sure that I've got that within the heat press, which is 15 inches as we have. We're just on the edge there, so I'll make that the last one, and I'll put the last one on the back, which is this red one here, and also this transfer there. That's a transfer. These are vinyls, by the way. So let's just take this straight over to the heat press and place that on the planturn. Now, as I said to you, this is first test ever with this heat press, and let's just put the cover sheet on there, which is a Teflon sheet. Put it right over the top, and we're looking for our 20-second countdown. This is the proof that's in the pudding, and we'll see how this actually works. There we go. So just lift up. There we go. Take that out of the way. Just let this cool down for a minute. Let's take this back over to our worktop. Okay. Right. Let's start from the top. Top extremity of the heat plate. Pass. Work our way down the heat plate. That's a reflective one, that one. This one here is a flock. So again, we'll show you that once I've peeled this off. There's number 2. That's perfect. Next one down was just a simple white vinyl. Number 3. This is a gold foil type one with little glitter speckles in it. There we go. That's lovely. This is a fluorescent pink one. Superb. This is a blue flock, which has a slightly raised surface. This one's really pulling at these labels, but as I say, nothing's coming away. It's absolutely perfect. So there's that one there, and the final one, which is this glitter effect vinyl, which was right on the edge of the plate, and that's the reason why I put it there. Let's see how this one's fared. that's come through with flying colours. Absolutely superb. So let's just lay that down flat and let's just walk you over exactly what we've got here. Well, as you can see, that's the reflective one. This is the flock one, which is a raised surface, a white one. There's a glittery one there with this is like a foil. This is just a fluorescent pink. This again is another flock, blue flock this time, and this is that glittery sparkly one. Look at that, isn't that lovely? So as you can probably see there, absolutely perfect. That just covers our 15 by 15 plate. This is a large t-shirt, as you can see, and I think you'll agree that these are just about 10 inches wide. That makes a lovely size for that large t-shirt. Absolutely perfect. It's come through with flying colours. This is where that gap underneath is invaluable, so that you don't have to heat these transfers up yet again. So what you've got to do there is literally just pull your garment on the heat plate, and it actually feeds up through that slot underneath, which is absolutely great. So you basically just put that in position, go a bit further, centralise it like that. We'll put that one on there like that, which is upside down. We'll get our logo. Don't forget, this is going to go on upside down, and this is why you've got to be quick with heat plates with the dark t-shirt transfers, because they will tend to curl up. So we'll put that on like that, drop that over there like that, and drop this down for our 20 seconds, and let's see what happens here. Again, so this is a combination of using a vinyl, and it's also using a dark t-shirt transfer, using the transfer papers, printed with dye-based inks on the transfer papers that I use. There we go, up we go. Take that off. Absolutely fantastic. Pull it off, bring it over here, pull that off the foil, and as you can see, that has taken absolutely lovely. There's our transfer made with dye-based inks. There's our shiny red Retro Restore wording made out of vinyl, and turn it around, and there you go. Across the whole of the heat lantern there of the Galaxy Heat Press, that is pressed absolutely fantastic. I'm sure you'd agree, that is absolutely fantastic. So there you go, all done with this Galaxy Heat Press. Now I'm actually quite surprised, as I've said to you. This thing tends to deliver, and I didn't expect it, I'll be honest with you, so I didn't expect it. It heats up quicker than my Stahl Hotronix, and it also has the complete heat across the whole plate, and it looks to be of a quality made design. So don't forget, Subliblanks, when they asked me to review this, they took a chance, but the proof is in the pudding, and it's a fantastic press. I'm well impressed with it. So don't forget, let's turn it off. These things can be purchased directly from Subliblanks on their website at subliblanks.com, but I'll also leave a link in the description below, so if you want to click on the link below, feel free to go through there as well, and this will take you straight to this heat press. I'm going to be road testing this and doing a few more videos on this, because there's a lot of people who also do sublimation, and you can print things like phone cases, you can print things like holdalls, mouse mats, jigsaw puzzles, a whole range of different things. So in the next few videos, I'll still be road testing this, because I'm actually going to be using this one now, and we're going to trial this for a long-term trial. So keep your eyes open for these videos. So I hope you found this video beneficial, and I hope it's opened your eyes to this Galaxy Heat Press that is available via Subliblanks. Give it a go. Bye for now.